Hello, welcome to Fair Lady of the Loch Tarot. Thank you for joining me. Today we will be using the Eight of Cups to ask the question of what lies ahead of us and what it is that we need to leave behind. And as I said in the tarot card meaning video, this can have a heavy energy to it at times. So I have placed a row of protective crystals for us here off the camera, as well as several crystals to aid in this transition period. Okay, and we will start with the Eight of Pentacles from the Universal Celtic Tarot. Now this one, as I said in the tarot meaning video, actually has a different meaning in that all of your dreams have been fulfilled. Okay, so this is the one exception here where this card means all of your dreams have been fulfilled, and you're moving towards that and leaving behind everything else that doesn't fit within that framework. Okay, and with that pile number one we have mica, a clear quartz moon, raw larimar, and a tree agate mini sphere. Okay, pile number two, we have the Everyday Witch Tarot with the unakite, the azurite, and the desert rose. Pile number three, we have Steampunk Tarot with the white calcite, the hematite, and the white howlite mini sphere. And then pile number four, we have the Rider Tarot with the luxulliite, the black palm, the lava stone, and the eagle's eye. So let your intuition guide you on what pile or piles you may need to hear or be drawn to, and I will see you in your readings. If you chose pile number one with the Universal Celtic Tarot, the mica, the clear quartz moon, the raw larimar, and the tree agate mini sphere, then this is your reading. Now, how I read tarot is I read both definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. And today we are using the Eight of Cups to draw us into the question of what is it that we are moving towards? What is it that we must leave behind? And that can be a little heavy. So, just make sure that you keep your positive energy uplifted as we go through this, okay? And we will zero in as best we can on what it is that the other side wishes to tell you. And in the Universal Celtic Tarot, as I explained earlier, the card that drew you into this one actually means all your dreams come true, right? But for our dreams to come true, there's actions that need to be taken, things that must be left behind, and that sort of thing. So even in that really positive light, there is still that underlying energy of that Eight of Cups, right? So we start off very first thing with the Strength card. And as I said in the tarot meaning video, I do not think it's a coincidence that the Strength card is 8 in the Major Arcana, and we are dealing with the Eight of Cups here. It takes great strength and great courage to move forward in life, to move towards what is meant for you and to leave behind what is not. Okay? And sometimes that takes us into a hermit energy, right? Sometimes we have to walk a path alone. Sometimes we have to go inside to heal, right? From whatever we went through. I mean, that's a lot of shadow work, that goes through achieving your dreams, achieving your goals, truly knowing yourself and re-examining that time and time again to make sure that you're being truthful with yourself. There's a lot that goes into achieving a person's dreams beyond the material things that everyone can see. And the Hermit card very much represents that, right? One of the things I like about this card is that it's got the little lightning bugs. I think in other parts of the country or world they call them fireflies, but where I come from we call them lightning bugs. And I remember as a child running around the yard after them and looking at the hay field all lit up with them, and it brings a sense of peace. It also brings a sense of nostalgia, right? So some of us may be experiencing that as well as we go through here. Perhaps even romanticizing the past a little bit more than maybe it should be. So be mindful of that as well. But also, remember the light, right? Even during these shifting and uncertain times of transition, remember your internal light, okay? And don't ever let it burn out. Don't ever let it go out, okay? And while there's so much that we don't know, and understand, that unknown is fertile, filled with our abundance, okay? And is about to be birthed into the world and be made known. But it is our responsibility during all of this time to keep our balance, okay? Keep our internal emotional balance. And that can be really hard to do. I mean, really, really hard to do, guys. So tap into your roots, okay? Keep them firmly in the ground. Regardless of what else is going on in your life, know that at the end of it, it is for your best and highest good, okay? And that you are divinely protected and loved and guided. Trust your intuition. Remember to take care of yourself. Make sure you're drinking enough, eating enough, and of the right things, okay? Meditate, exercise, spend time in nature, and ground yourself. Because transition periods, no matter what they might be, are difficult, okay? And in this particular transition period, we are going through a complete change here in this pile, okay? A complete change. Sometimes when we tap into our personal power, we tap into that warrior within to get through a situation. We can leave some hurt feelings in our wake. And that can be really hard, especially if you're an empath and feel other people's energies, right? But don't let that deter you from realizing your own personal power. It's not that, you want to set out to hurt feelings or anything like that, but sometimes just by following our destiny, it does happen. And it can make the heart hurt. It can make the mind scream. That sort of mix of emotions that is so hard to define, But part of this new journey is you learning about your own personal power, learning about your magic, learning what you're capable of, right? And this brings about a new material beginning, whether that's health, wealth, household, okay? And sometimes we have to leave behind familiar paradigms, familiar places, people, to really step into our personal power. And that can be really hard, Okay. But don't allow others or yourself to deceive you. Okay. Make sure you are dealing with yourself in complete honesty. All right. Know what it is that you are accomplishing. Know what it is that you desire. Know what it is that is causing all these myriad of emotions within you, and face them head on. Okay? I am also getting that part of the reason someone is moving on is because they are leaving a deceptive energy of someone else. A lot of times in mythology, green dragons represent evil and menace and poison, and those sorts of things, right? And I don't tend to associate dragons, honestly, with anything particularly negative myself, but I do know that is a color for that in the mythologies. And with the Seven of Swords, we are particularly dealing with deception, theft, whether that's of something physical and tangible or whether it's of something energetic. Okay, so make sure you're protecting yourself. Okay, and for those of you that are dealing with an energetic situation, I recommend labradorite. Okay, to protect you in that way. But you are showing people the way, right? By example, you are showing the way, you are leading the way to what it looks like when somebody follows their point, their purpose, right? Their dreams, their passions. When somebody realizes who they truly are and what that means for themselves and the world, right? And here with the Universal Celtic Tarot, this card has the leader of the Tuatha De Danann leading his people into their new home, and behind them burns their ships. So this is very much a scenario of there is no turning back. Okay, and it's too late to do anything much about that for this energy. Once you burn those ships, those bridges, whatever it is that you've burned and left behind, quite often there isn't a going back. Now, that doesn't mean that if you've made a mistake that you can't make amends, right? You can absolutely make amends. But this isn't talking about that. This is you burning what doesn't serve you, leaving it so far behind you that you can't even see it in your rearview mirror anymore. Okay? But there is a warning to be mindful in the present moment, to not ignore the beauties of what is in the now as the future approaches. We can very much get tangled up in the past or tangled up in the anticipation of the future and completely ignore the present moment in which we are in. Okay? And that's not healthy to do. And we're all capable of it, right? We all fall susceptible to that, especially when we can feel it with every fiber of our being on the horizon, right? But we cannot be blind to the present moment. The beauties, the needs of the present moment must also be attended to. Okay? So make sure you're staying grounded in the present. It's okay to be hopeful of the future, but you have things in the present to be dealing with as this future approaches. Okay? And I am getting an energy of marital strife here with this Five of Swords, which I don't usually get with this one, but it has come a little bit lately. Relationship strife. Now, there is some strife, and there is definitely internal strife, right, about these decisions you're making. One, whether to even make them. Two, how on earth are you going to follow through with it? And three, what about all these people that are not going to be able to go with me? What about all these people that I have to leave behind? And in the case of partnerships, romantic relationships, it's also a reminder that while you may be cutting cords and setting someone loose and free, that freedom allows them to pursue their own sun moment, their own sun card, right? Their own future that is meant for them, right? And that can be really difficult, and you can be really in your emotions there. So it's okay to grieve. It is absolutely okay to shed tears and to grieve, just as long as you don't stay in it, okay? And while you are going through this and learning about your own personal power and everything that you are capable of, and stepping into your own personal authority and passion, there is a lot of passion to this new beginning, this fulfillment of dreams. You know, while you're doing that, remember to take care of yourself. Okay, every step of the way, make sure you are getting enough rest. Make sure you are drinking enough water, eating the right things. Don't burn the candle at both ends, okay? You need to make sure you have a balance. And I'm getting a schedule, a balanced calendar, a balanced schedule here coming through. Perhaps adjusting your waking time or going to sleep time so that you're getting enough rest while also accomplishing everything that you need to accomplish. Okay? I see someone checking items off of a to-do list here. And this brings you great material stability and abundance, okay? With this King of Pentacles card, in your health, your wealth, your household, anything tangible, the things that you can touch, right? Sometimes that means the very land you're standing on. I am getting the energy of somebody buying a plot of land, right? But this will bring about an abundance and a stability, and one that your heart, your whole entire being burns for. There is something here about your chakras aligning and your soul's desires being made clearer to you so that you can see them. Yeah, that's very intense energy there. I'm also getting a flash in my mind of barbed wire. I really do think someone is buying some land. With the Ten of Wands, you're walking by faith, You're not sure of all the dangers and pitfalls that lie ahead, so make sure that you receive professional help as needed. Make sure someone who's familiar with contracts and legalese is looking over anything that you sign, right? No matter what that might be, okay? Make sure that you're physically taking care of yourself, because I am getting that for some of you, what you are going into requires a certain amount of physical fitness, okay? That's not for everyone, but I am getting that for some of you. So it might behoove you to take up an exercise routine to prepare yourself for that, a training schedule. It's also a reminder that the other side is with you, okay? Buoying you up, clearing the path. You are never alone, okay? Don't lose faith, don't lose hope, all right? And with the Page of Cups, it also brings about a new emotional beginning, a more stable internal emotional space, okay? And with the Salmon of Knowledge, through this whole thing, you have learned so much about yourself, your internal space, your emotional triggers, and as you reach the fulfillment of this beautiful, abundant blessing that is coming towards you, you may even be stepping into it now as we speak. You will gain even more knowledge about yourself, such as how you feel and how you behave when you are in a life of abundance. All right? Don't forget what brought you there. Okay? Make sure that you're staying true to yourself. For some of you, there is going to be fame and fortune that goes with this. Obviously not for everyone. Some sort of acclaim, okay? And make sure that you are shining bright in your own light, okay? And that you do not let the spotlight change that about you, okay? Stay humble, stay true, but also be strong and confident. It's a hard balance to achieve. Okay, with the crystals to help you on that along that endeavor, I'm going to read mica first, if I can find which one I marked it with. Here we go. Mica helps with personal growth, intuition, psychic abilities, healing, reduces nervous energy, reduces hostile energy, is very calming. Helps with protection, peace, and strength. Working with the heart, third eye, and crown chakras. Okay, so mica is going to be an important one for this pile. And mica is in a lot of other crystals, so bear that in mind as you make your crystal selections for yourself. Okay, and then we are going to look at larimar, or larimar, depending on how you wish to pronounce it, here in the raw. And it helps to activate the mind, take back control from doubts and fears, soothes mental anxiety, enlightens mind and soul, healing, better communication, speaking from the inner self without apprehension, is associated with Atlantis. It combines elements of air and water, working with the throat chakra. Okay, and these raw pieces came from the mineral mushroom. You can find her on TikTok. Okay. Then we have the tree agate, which actually I think might have been on the same page as the mica, if I can find back where I was there. Yep. Helps with grounding, stability, connection to nature, inner peace, self-confidence, security, new beginnings, growth, abundance, encouragement, creativity, manifestation, and self-discovery. It works with the heart, root, and crown chakras. And that one came from Thunder's Trove, I do believe, as well as this clear quartz moon. And I will read you an excerpt from The Beginner's Guide to Crystals by Lisa Butterworth about clear quartz. And the moon, as we saw in your reading, which showed up in your reading here, represents the unknown, right? The unknown becoming known. All right. This clear quartz helps with clarity, purification, and restoration. It works with the higher crown and crown chakras and is most commonly found in Brazil, France, Spain, and the United States. In fact, you can find a ton of this at mines in Arkansas, where you can mine it yourself. Clear quartz can do it all. It's a great starter crystal because it is incredibly versatile and has wide-ranging benefits. This translucent mineral is full of light, transmuting negative energy and bathing you and its surroundings in positive energy. It is detoxifying both physically and emotionally, and has the ability to clear any energy blockages and bring the body and mind to a balanced state. It's cleansing and energizing, creating an optimized foundation from which health can flourish. This all-around support stone is associated with the crown chakra. It will raise your consciousness and clear the path for higher awareness. It also amplifies the energy of other crystals it's around. Quartz is one of the most common minerals in the world, and many other gems, amethyst, carnelian, citrine, are actually colored members of the quartz family. Herkimer diamond is a double-terminated clear quartz. For personal use, keep a clear quartz cluster in your meditation space for a powerful boost to your practice. At home, it can harmonize and energize an environment, and at work, it can boost clear thinking and a positive outlook. Okay. Today, I think we need to pull a Moonology card here for you. Okay, a time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo. So I am getting the message of give yourself love, for one thing. Don't allow so many people to be taking from you. Also, I am getting that generosity vibe, not generosity vibe, excuse me, gratitude. Yes, be generous. Be generous of spirit, of heart, of, but I'm also getting a need for staying in that attitude of gratitude, okay? Grounding yourself in that. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. There's many things you cannot yet see, guys, okay? And they are going to be revealed. Absolutely going to be revealed. You just need to hang in there and be patient, okay? And it's time to breathe out. Disseminating moon. So this is the calm before the transitional storm, right? So, and I don't mean that in a terrifying sort of way. I mean rest now. Because when your abundance comes, you're going to be busy. All right? So take that time to breathe and meditate. And we absolutely saw that with that Four of Cups up here. All right? And then we have, what do you need to release? Waning moon. And that is all about the Eight of Cups there, right? What is it you need to let go of? And most of the time you're going to find the energy to be negative, the thing that you need to let go of. It's having a negative effect, right, on your energy. So if you know what that is, it's time to let it go, okay? Have faith in your dreams, okay? Waxing crescent moon, and we had a crescent moon with our reading here. Okay, have faith in your dreams. It is so important to keep the faith. Keep your hope while staying grounded in the present, okay? And I did feel some doubts in here, guys. I really did. So this, and I'm so glad it came out. You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo, all right? You are good enough. And that should never be in doubt, all right? Just hang in there. Trust in yourself, trust in the divine, take care of yourself because it is coming. And I am getting that some of you may need encouraging message here. Okay, so I am going to pull you one from the White Light Oracle by Alana Fairchild, number 23, Beta of Spirit Wolf. And it's giving me a very courageous, powerful energy today. A strong alignment from the crown and heart chakras in here today, okay? Give yourself enough rest. Only then will you be able to ground yourself enough to cultivate focus and motivation to fulfill your path. You will find a way through any tricky situation as you tune in to your instincts and trust your own timing. From times of change and uncertainty comes confidence, love, and resilience. Embrace transition. Commit to your tasks and stay focused, but be flexible in your approach. You have the skill to intuitively handle any situation, right? And that does mean any situation, okay? And I'm getting that for some of you, it might benefit you to look into the metaphysical energies of a spirit wolf, okay? And here is just a little thing to say aloud to yourself as needed along the path, okay? I have it within me to accomplish my soulful tasks with focus and effectiveness. I trust myself to find my way according to my own heart wisdom and with the strength of spirit that keeps me motivated to continue on my path while also meeting my needs for rest and replenishment. I hope that you found this message to be helpful. If you did, please let me know. If there's anything that you felt could have been improved upon, please let me know that as well. Be kind and gentle as you do, if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. You are loved more than you will ever know. And no matter what you are going through right now to get to this other side, you are strong enough. You are absolutely strong enough. Okay? I love you. Take care of yourselves. Bye. If you chose pile number 2 with the Everyday Witch Tarot, the unakite, the azurite, and the desert rose, then this is your reading. Now, how I read tarot is I read both the definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. Now, we are using the Eight of Cups to draw us into the question of what am I heading towards and what am I letting go of, okay? And what dreams am I fulfilling, okay? And there may be some advice about that along here. And I'm going to set these aside for clarifiers. All right, we start with the King of Wands. So with the King of Wands, we are dealing very much with, I'm getting a professional energy here. Someone who may travel for a living, someone who's a boss, someone who, actually I'm getting somebody who not only is spiritually strong and sound, but financially strong and sound, or is at least used to being. They're very much used to being in charge. Getting very strong in charge energy off of this today. Perhaps a teacher or professor also could be this energy I'm getting. A doctor. Someone whose profession is one of authority. Okay. I'm also getting a homeschool parent coming through here as well. Okay. A teacher of some kind. And this is definitely somebody who uses their mind, okay, mind for their work. This is clarity, wisdom, and knowledge. All right, this is knowing who you are, what you want, and not being afraid to go for it. All right. And yet, through all of this security of in your world here that I'm seeing, there's a path before you, a fork in the road, so to speak. Okay, a choice that must be made. Do I stay where I am, or do I take a risk and go off into the unknown and chart a new path? Okay, and I am getting travel here multiple times. And, with the unknown, there's these things where it's like, okay, what lies in the darkness? What lies in the deep? I'm nervous. I'm scared. Do I have the strength to start over again? And the answer is yes. Yes, you do. Look at this fierce panther. It may look like a cute little kitten that you can cuddle, but deep down inside, it is a fierce panther. Okay? And you're more powerful than you know is a message that I'm getting coming through here. Okay, so you are going to take flight, into the unknown here with courage, with passion. You're going to follow your intuition. You're going to follow your passion. Okay, and there will be difficulties along the way. There are places on the map, where it's like, here there be monsters, here there be dragons, and there will be. Life is full of them, no matter how secure you may feel that you are in something. There are always mountains that will need to be climbed, right? But they don't have to be climbed alone. And the Three of Pentacles here is definitely showing you working with others to achieve this goal, whether it's a new house. I am getting here, some of you may move to some place like Italy and restore a house together. Italy or Spain or France or somewhere in the Mediterranean is coming through pretty strongly. Okay, and there's concerns there about finances. You're used to having financial stability with your job or the way you've structured your life. And something that has happened recently, or you're just fearing it, one or the other. It either something that's happened recently, or you are fearing something might happen, has shaken your belief in your material stability. Okay, but this is a reminder that you do have everything that you need to see this through. Okay. Just remember to keep a sharpness and clarity of mind. And you have the King and Queen of Swords here, right? So, logic and reason are really strong factors here. Whether you are a creature of logic and reason, even in your spirituality, right? Or whether this is something, a habit you need to adopt. Clarity, logic, okay? But don't leave out the heart element, right? Never forget to leave out the heart element. Right? But you need to see your way clear of this doubt, okay? And a solution will be given to you because we have the Enlightenment card here with the Hanged Man, right? An enlightenment will come about, and you will see. And you will be able to balance your material world. You'll be able to balance your finances, your household, your health, okay? Just remember to keep an eye out for those internal personal triggers that want to set you back and put you down the rabbit hole, okay? You will have all the resources that you need to achieve your abundance, okay? And here with the Queen of Cups, this includes emotional abundance, okay? Fertility, love, all right? For some of you, I am seeing a child, and that does have a way of changing one's life, but it does change one's life for the better, without a doubt, okay? And there's always struggles along the way. Make sure you're getting enough rest, okay, no matter what your future holds. But be brave, and be true to your heart, okay? This life is one where when you look in the mirror, there's going to be a new passion, a new light in your eyes that wasn't there before. A new peace, a new understanding within your soul. Okay? And with that comes so much power. And how to wield it. A knowledge of how to wield your own personal power. And so much passion. I'm getting a lot of passion here. This is someone who they're getting a little personal here, but this is someone who knows their body and isn't afraid to use it however they wish. Okay? Take that how it resonates, leave behind what doesn't. But I do see passion in everything that you do coming through here. Okay? And this will, for some of you, this issue here with the Four of Pentacles, just be frugal, be mindful, don't overspend, okay, while you're going through this transitional period, all right? And it'll be okay, all right? Just, and make sure you're taking care of yourself. With the Six of Wands, when you do that, when you step into your own personal power, this is a clarification for this. I'm going to cross it like this, okay? When you step into your own personal power here with this Three of Wands, and you've gone through all this and you have learned so much, and that teaching instinct I saw here, okay, is going to carry through with this, all right? You'll be able to not only wield your own personal power, but teach others how to do so. And it doesn't matter how old you are, how old they are. It is never too late to start anew. Never, ever, ever too late to start anew, okay? And here we have the card that drew us into this very thing, the Eight of Cups, all right? And I know, I can see here from the beginning of your reading, there's a lot you're leaving behind. There's a lot of stability, a lot of security that you have built for yourself over the years. Whether that's family, traditions, whether that's job, whether that's I am getting somebody identifying themselves by what they do instead of actually who they are, and that can be a slippery slope, right? So be careful of that during this transition. But even with all this success, there was still something missing for you. And it was in your heart to such a degree that it couldn't be ignored, and it shows you going after that thing, all right? Which requires a new way of thinking. Training yourself to think in a new way, being a student of your own thoughts, of your own self, and acting upon a healed place within your heart and mind, okay? And standing your ground as you start this new endeavor. And with the Eight of Pentacles, we are seeing you mastering a skill, We are seeing you as an entrepreneur, okay, your own boss. But for those of you that I got big boss energy over here, like CEO or that sort of thing, in this way, I'm getting a lot less pressure. It's a lot better for you, your nervous system, your heart, your health in general, okay? I'm getting some apothecary vibes here too, so maybe you're visiting an herbalist or something like that, or are one, okay? But this is a job, this is a position, a place where you actually enjoy your job, you enjoy what you're doing, and it's healthier for your general whole well-being, okay? And then with the Page of Pentacles, it is a new material beginning, okay? And you'll have to adjust to that. There's always an adjustment period. It can be very, very, very overwhelming to go through all these changes, especially financial ones, or moving. Moving is one of the most stressful things that a couple can do in their marriage. Just remember to stay fresh and childlike in your heart, okay? Enjoy creative pursuits that bring you peace, all right? Embrace this new emotional beginning as what it is, a beautiful work of art and a gift, okay? Not to be feared, denied, but to follow the true passions of your heart, okay? All right, let us look at your crystals here with the unakite. Yeah, you see where I marked it. Okay, I know I did. It's in here somewhere. I may have to pause it so I can find where the marking went. Well, dadgummit. All right, hang on, guys, just a second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I found it. My bookmark had slid down in it. Unakite helps with balance, love, transformation, emotional healing, self-discovery, self-love, spirituality. It removes energy blockages, helps with inner peace. It is a stone of couples aiding in relationships. Personal growth, vision, scrying, convalescence and recovery, sleep, grounding, fertility, depression, and success in new ventures. It works with the heart and third eye chakras. So this is a really, really good one for this pile. And that came from a Thunder's Trove. Now with azurite, we are dealing with one of the crystals known as the Stone of Heaven. Both azurite and celestite carry that title. Okay. Azurite works with understanding, clearing, and higher consciousness. It works with the third eye and throat chakras. Common origins are Mexico, Namibia, and the United States. Azurite opens the door to truth. This deep blue mineral has been called the Stone of Heaven because of its high vibration with the third eye chakra. It will clear emotional and energetic blocks to reveal an understanding of the divine, deepening intuition and increasing spiritual awareness. It will help you gain a new perspective, allowing you to relinquish limiting thought patterns and long-standing behavior that's no longer useful. Azurite is also excellent for aiding issues with communication, whether you're afraid of making yourself heard or prone to nervously talking too much. Healers believe azurite increases circulation and is also beneficial for brain health. And you had the Queen and King of Swords in here, so the brain for you is a really important thing. Azurite is a copper carbonate with intense blue, which inspires its name, caused by the weathering of other mineral deposits. It is closely related to malachite. For personal use, meditate with azurite to reset your mental state and tune into your truth. At home, it can foster an environment of open and honest communication with a partner, family member, or housemate. And at work, it can enhance focus and decision-making abilities. And then we will read the Desert Rose. And we are reading from The Beginner's Guide to Crystals by Lisa Butterworth. Desert Rose helps with clarity, cleansing, and protection. It works with the third eye and root chakras. Most commonly found in Australia, Mexico, and the United States. Desert rose gently dispels negative energy. Use it as a stone of protection to shield you from adverse influences. It also offers guidance in the spiritual realm and helps you tap into your higher truth. If you suffer from anxiety or phobias, this peaceful mineral will help relieve them and is an excellent chakra clearer. Desert rose also has illuminating properties, revealing both the good and bad of any situation. It teaches us that life has both highs and lows, which is what makes it a meaningful existence. Desert rose nurtures feelings of appreciation and acceptance. Healers use it to relieve nausea and motion sickness, and it can help with gastrointestinal issues related to anxiety. Desert rose needs an arid desert environment to develop. Clusters of barite or gypsum form around sand granules to create the rosette-like shapes that inspire this mineral's name. And for personal use, carry desert rose with you as a protective talisman. At home, it can help sustain a marriage or long-term relationship by bringing the bigger picture to the forefront. And at work, it can enhance decision-making and focus. It's a form of selenite, so it can also cleanse your other crystals as well. Okay, I'm going to get you a Moonology card. Prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. Okay, so that is an excellent, excellent, encouraging card. All right, and I am going to get you a White Light Oracle message by Alana Fairchild. Oh, and this came out in pile number 1. So if you were at all drawn to pile number 1, you might check it out. If not, then just disregard. But the Moon card and the Beta of Spirit Wolf, as well as the Eight of Cups, came out in pile number 1. Okay. Give yourself enough rest. Only then will you be able to ground yourself enough to cultivate focus and motivation to fulfill your path. You will find a way through any tricky situation as you tune in to your instincts and trust your own timing. From times of change and uncertainty comes confidence, love, and resilience. Embrace transition. Commit to your tasks and stay focused, but be flexible in your approach. You have the skill to intuitively handle any issue. Okay, you do, absolutely do. And there's a little thing here you can say aloud for encouragement as you need. I have it within me to accomplish my soulful tasks with focus and effectiveness. I trust myself to find my way according to my own heart wisdom and with the strength of spirit that keeps me motivated to continue on my path while also meeting my needs for rest and replenishment. I hope that you found this to be helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If there's anything you felt could have been improved upon, please also let me know that as well. Be gentle and kind as you do so if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. You are loved more than you'll ever know. And you are strong enough to get through any transition in life. Take care of yourself. Love you. Bye. Hello. If you picked pile number 3 with the Steampunk Tarot, the white calcite, the hematite, and the white howlite, then this is your reading. Now, how I read tarot is I read both the definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. And I am getting a message here about partnership already. Working together. Okay, we may need to draw a clarifier, and I will do that here. And set them aside, and they will be used as needed. Okay? All right. Right off the bat, 3 of Pentacles. This is working together to achieve a goal. And we're using the 8 of Cups, to ask what it is that we're moving towards, what it is that we must leave behind. And honestly, we're asking for assistance in that. How do we get through that? And I am getting the message of teamwork. Okay? The way you are going to get through this transition is teamwork. Okay? Whether that's family, business associates, colleagues, friends, a coven, a kindred, a congregation, an organization, whatever it is, okay? Teamwork. And for some of you, that teamwork may be you and the gods, okay? It's the ancestors, the spirits of nature, right? But it is definitely a message of not doing it alone, right? Not doing it alone, not trying to get it all done alone, not because that's going to lead to depression and anxiety, overwhelm, lack of emotional control, okay? And for some of you that have addictive tendencies, you know, it could trigger things like alcoholism, drug abuse, overeating, and that sort of thing, okay? So be mindful of that and be careful of that. Make sure you are getting enough rest, okay? Part of working with a group, part of delegating and sharing a load is making certain that you can rest, all right? So while others work, you rest, and while, you know, and you work together and you rest, okay? You can take turns, whatever is necessary. For some of you, I get the message that you're like, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to rest. I just don't, okay? There is a warning here, okay? If you do not take time to rest, time's just not going to matter because your health is going to suffer, all right? And then you'll just be down and out, all right? So do stop and rest. That being said, you absolutely do have the strength to get through whatever it is that you are going through. And I am getting, for some of you, there may be health problems, okay, that you suffer with, chronic illness, or there may be an injury like a broken hand or something, okay? It will heal, all right? You will be given infinite amounts of strength to fulfill your destiny, all right? I am getting the vibe of some of the careers here. I am seeing interior decorator, I'm seeing bartender, I'm seeing a funeral home manager, and I am seeing a doctor or nurse, someone in the medical field, okay, perhaps a surgeon, as careers, an architect, okay, so some of these are coming through here. A swordsmith, that's an interesting career. Someone who works with animals, you know, a veterinarian, okay, I'm getting all of those coming through as a possibility, but strength. You do absolutely have it. I am also getting that for some of you, there may be a blonde or redhead or strawberry blonde that will hold some importance for you, whether that's romantic or whether that's a partner that's going to help you through a difficult situation, a friend. I am picking up on that energy. I'm also picking up on Leo energy, okay? And with the star, this is restoration, rejuvenation, regeneration, healing, grounding, but it's also the star quality, right? And here recently we have had on some piles where fame and renown, or at least having an excellent reputation in what you do, and that gaining you attention is coming through, okay? There's also a celestial, angelic, fae, spiritual energy about this as well. Cosmic support is coming through there, okay? And with the Three of Cups, and we had the Three of Pentacles here, and we have the Three of Cups here. This is about community, okay? So make sure that your emotional balance, okay, as you're trying to maintain that, that you reach out to your community, okay? Not just at work with the Three of Pentacles, but also in your social environment, okay? Make sure you are balancing your needs in both departments. And with the Eight of Cups, we have the energy, the very card that drew us into this reading. I am getting infinity, right? I'm getting somebody asking the question, what lies in the unknown that I am not seeing? And the answer from the other side is infinity. Everything. Everything is what's on the other side. That is coming through so strong. Your hopes, your dreams, your visions, your passion, your fire, your personal alignment and power lie on the other side of this transition. Infinity, everything. It's very powerful. And with the Queen of Wands, we have courage, determination, passion, intuition, and joy. This is happiness. Being in your own personal power, not being afraid of your own internal passions, and following them to your happiness while still staying grounded and stable. Okay? All right. Other jobs coming through are mechanic, engineer, inventor, mathematician, equine, a bunch of jobs with equine. Prosthetics is also coming through for some reason I'm not 100% sure about. Okay? But with this comes celebration. Okay? Four of Wands is very much about celebration. And once again, you are not alone. So that fear I felt coming through about being alone, really, you will not be alone. Okay? If you do not currently have a love partner, you will. And it will be a divinely blessed union. Okay? A soulmate. Twin flame. It's a destined union, blessed by the other side. I'm also getting a message that for those of you who have lost a partner, okay, because there's this Valkyrie energy coming through, a spirit ghost type energy coming through here, they are giving you their blessing to move forward, okay? And that is backed up here with the Judgment card. You are moving towards your karmic rewards, right, in this lifetime. This is your highest and best good and timeline here, okay? A word of advice, just be careful with your money, be frugal, okay? Don't overspend where you shouldn't. I get that some of you have already done this and have a rainy day fund, okay? But you will be accumulating material gains as you go forward, as well as enlightenment and understanding of yourself, of the world, of the spirit realm, and of the energies that flow through us all. And that is a beautiful gift to be given. Okay, so along that vein, let us look at the white calcite. It, otherwise known as optical calcite, is such a pretty stone. I know it's clear and may seem rather plain to the first look, and I don't think it's going to show through on this, but it is full of rainbows. I'm sorry if you can't see it. It is looking rather plain on the video. My apologies. It is full of rainbows. So while the outside may not be all that exciting at first glance, there's all these hidden treasures beneath within, and that very much speaks to we as people, right? White calcite helps with emotional balance, mental clarity, spiritual growth and awakening. It can cleanse auric fields and chakras. It helps with new beginnings, amplifies energies, aids in motivation, recovery and healing, calming, revitalizing. It enhances memory and learning, protection, guidance, and purity. It works with the crown chakra. Whoops. That one just fell right on that Lover's card there, so maybe you need some. We'll stick it right there. Okay? There's something there about the Lovers. Maybe you're doubting, perhaps. Maybe needs to be some more balance there. Or remembering. Remembering about your soulmate from other lifetimes. That is coming through. Okay. We have the hematite. Okay, here we go. Hematite helps with grounding, centering, and stabilizing. It works with the solar plexus and root chakras, most commonly found in Brazil, England, and Italy. Hematite is one of the most powerful grounding stones. If you're feeling overwhelmed or irrationally anxious, it's the best stabilizer to work with. It absorbs negativity, so be sure to cleanse it regularly, which this can help do. Okay? And helps with self-control. Hematite is sometimes referred to as the stress stone for the ability to assuage worries, or the lawyer's stone, since it's particularly helpful for those seeking justice and dealing with legal matters. And you did get a warning here about that stress and what it can do to you, so do be careful of that, okay? Hematite's centering energies increase focus and mental clarity and balance the chakras. It is believed to help with issues related to blood, such as calming high blood pressure, combating anemia, and easing excessive menstrual bleeding. Hematite comes from the Greek word for blood, hema, because of the reddish streaks found on some varieties. It is one of the most common minerals and has magnetic properties that are enhanced when the stone is heated. For personal use, hold in your pocket for grounding energy when feeling overwhelmed. At home, it can help maintain a balanced household. And at work, have on hand when dealing with contracts or other legal matters. I personally find it to be very effective when worn as jewelry. Okay, so whether it is a bracelet, a ring, a necklace. Now, if it's a ring, be mindful that hematite does break rather easily in that particular case. So if you're a mechanic, you may want to take it off and put it on a chain or something like that, okay? It also helps the magnetic, it helps with like joint pain and things like that. So take that or leave it as it resonates with you. But I am going to put it here on the Five of Cups to aid with that energy that we encountered, okay? And then we have howlite. Howlite helps with calm, self-awareness, and openness. It works with the crown and root chakras and is most commonly found in the United States. Howlite offers a wonderful dichotomy. It attunes the mind to a higher consciousness while offering a subtle grounding. It stills the mental chatter of anxiety and stress, perfect preparation for meditation or a deep and restful sleep. Howlite stimulates inspiration and creativity, opening the mind to fresh ideas. It tempers anger and calms fiery emotions. It will enhance your decency and integrity, which makes it particularly helpful for honest communication in difficult situations. If you procrastinate, use it to shift away from that behavior. Howlite is a stone that promotes preventative care and is believed to strengthen bones and teeth. The stone is named after the geologist Henry Howe, who discovered it in Nova Scotia. For personal use, if you wrestle with a short temper, keep a piece of howlite in your pocket. At home, it can enhance an environment of openness and productivity. And at work, it can help with brainstorming, especially in group settings. So I am going to place it right here with the Three of Pentacles to aid in that teamwork energy that we saw. All right, so for today, we are going to draw you a Moonology oracle as well as a white light oracle, okay? What do you need to release? And that is the theme, right? That is the absolute theme of the Eight of Cups, okay? So ask yourself honestly, what do you need to release? And a waning moon can help with that, all right? And then for reassurance, prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus, okay? And then for your encouraging message from Alana Fairchild's White Light Oracle, let's see, what am I seeing? I'm seeing way too many. I'm going to let them choose, because that, I'm just pointing out way too many to me all at once there. Maybe you need multiple messages. Okay, we're going to go with this one. Oh, that came out in 1 and 2. That is not a coincidence. Okay, these guys, they're determined they're coming out, so we're going to take them. All right. All right, so if you were drawn to either pile 1 or 2 or both, then please do check them out, okay? Because this beta of Spirit Wolf came out in both of those. And if it's not for you, it might be for your partner. Something to consider there that's coming through, okay? It might be helpful in that soulmate quest that we saw there. Give yourself enough rest. Only then will you be able to ground yourself enough to cultivate focus and motivation to fulfill your path. And we saw that here with that Four of Swords, remember? You will find a way through any tricky situation as you tune into your instincts and trust your own timing. From times of change and uncertainty comes confidence, love, and resilience. Embrace transition, commit to your tasks, and stay focused, but be flexible in your approach. You have the skill to intuitively handle any situation. Okay, and we're going to put that right on top of that rest card right there. All right. And there's a little thing that goes with it that says, I have it within me to accomplish my soulful tasks with focus and effectiveness. I trust myself to find my way according to my own heart wisdom and with the strength of spirit that keeps me motivated to continue on my path, while also meeting my needs for rest and replenishment. Okay? And 39, Ivory Wish Fulfilling Crow. And, you know, for those of you that I felt that energy of I don't have time to rest, and they're telling you you must, it's not optional, this may be a benefit to you. I'm just getting a little something there. You can have what you truly want. Such knowledge helps soften and release fear, grasping, control, and doubt. Have confidence that the universe hears your prayers and is even now leading you into that which you seek. You can take sanctuary within your spiritual connection whenever you need stabilization and protection against the fluctuations of the external world. No matter what is happening around you, there is a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. And I am going to place that right here with all this beautiful star and celebration energy we've got going over here, okay? All right. And then, number 32, Lasya of Parvati. There is a gentler way to proceed and obtain the same or even greater effect. Tame the wild and frenzied workings of the mind by grounding yourself with beauty, pleasure, and grace. Violence and its negative effects shall be overcome and healed through feminine gentleness and inner spiritual strength. This oracle is a sign of great future happiness. Great future happiness, guys. And I am going to put that right there with that Queen of Wands energy that we had. With this one here, we have another little invocation for you. For the spiritual benefits of all beings, I call upon the Divine Mother Parvati for her blessings of spiritual grace, happiness, wisdom, and healing. May I recognize and embrace the gentlest path for effective healing and loving self-transformation. May the triple blessing of Tridevi grace my soul for the ultimate benefit to all souls. So be it. All right. I hope you found this message to be helpful. If you did, please let me know. If you thought there was anything that could have been improved upon, please also let me know that. Be gentle and kind as you do so if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. You are loved more than you'll ever know. And you have the strength to get through any difficulty that arises as you follow this new path. All right? Take care of yourself. Love you. Bye. If you chose pile number 4 with the Rider Tarot, the Black Palm, the Lava Stone, the Eagle's Eye, and the luxulliite, then this is your reading. Now, how I read tarot is I read both the definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. And today we are using the Eight of Cups to draw us into the question of what lies ahead for our future, and what might we need to leave behind in its pursuit. And some guidance and aiding us in that endeavor, right? Because it can be very difficult to leave behind the things that no longer serve us, but that we have emotional, sentimental, or some other, maybe even financial attachment to, right? And that can be very scary. So we are going to explore those depths today. With the Knight of Cups, we immediately have the energy of love is moving towards you. Okay? Yeah, love. I am getting that for some of you this means emotional stability. You're taking action upon emotional stability. But for others of you, this is actual love. Okay? Soulmate, friendship, okay, that sort of thing. And this person sees you as this beautiful, stable, grounded, independent person. Okay? This is your energy. This is how they view you, right? And you in turn view them as this beautiful, grounded, stable, abundant energy. You both have this deep admiration for one another, and you view each other in this state of equals. And while she is not the queen in this deck, for me, she actually is, if you'll excuse my language, more of a badass, okay? Because during the time that this tarot was created, women weren't allowed to own their own property. They weren't allowed to have power over themselves or anything like that. But in this card, she does. She has financial stability that's her own. She has a home that's her own. She has good health that she has acquired herself. You know, just all of these different blessings that are in her life, okay? And on top of that, she trained herself and taught herself how to do other things, jobs, careers, hobbies. She's got a beautiful garden. She's taken up falconry, okay? She is a proverbial badass, right? Grounded in herself, knows who she is, and is not afraid of it, okay? He is the same. Solid, stable, grounded, balanced, abundant, okay? He is stable in his home life. He is stable in his monetary situation, his health, all right? And while there may be some issues along the way as people grow older, right, or fall ill, and I'm not seeing that diminishing how you view each other in the slightest, okay? This is the couple. I don't know if any of you guys ever read Nicholas Sparks's The Notebook or saw the movie. But at the very end, when the couple, when he is when he's reading to her, trying to bring her memory back, and she remembers, and then she gets sick, but how she is, he never looks at her any different, right? She is still that beautiful, vibrant woman that he fell in love with, and nothing and no one was able to convince him otherwise, right? Even until the end, where they passed on to the other side together in each other's arms. Okay, that's this connection. That is this. And it is beautiful. And it is so beautiful. The energy, I mean, seriously, guys, I'm not much of one for crying, but it's about to move me to tears. That's how exquisitely beautiful and grounded and just elemental this love is. Okay? And whether you already have this love, okay, and you are choosing each other every single day, or whether this is a love that is awaiting you, all right? I do see you choosing the path that leads you to this love, okay? Whether that's rising each day and showing how much you love each other in a relationship you already have, or whether it's encountering it while you are living your life. I do see you choosing the right path and leaving behind anything that is not a part of that right path, okay? I don't see you wavering in that authenticity, in that truth, okay? And it's not because you didn't have choices. I mean, there are a myriad of choices. And we just did the Seven of Cups in the last pick a card reading, and there was a lot going on with that. And in one of the readings, I did pick up on a soulmate energy of this quality, okay? So if you're drawn to any of those, then, please do check them out. But I am getting here that even through all the years of you loving each other, there's still going to be mystery. There's still going to be things that you learn about each other, that you appreciate about each other, that you admire and respect and learn from one another, okay? And I am getting for some of you that you may have had multiple relationships in your life, may have dated many men or women or what have you, but that when this one comes into your life, that all stops. It's like the world stops. And all of a sudden, there they are. And it all makes sense. Okay? And you will have everything that you need, okay? The magician is the first person that the fool on his journey encounters, and they give him the wand, the cup, the pentacle, and the sword, okay? But I also like to point out that they also have infinite energy, infinite power, okay? Infinite wisdom, courage, bravery, knowledge, whatever it is they need within themselves, okay? I'm also getting that there will never be a shortage at your table, okay? For guests, for loved ones, for children, there will always be plenty, all right, on your table. And plenty of love and passion, okay? Now, that may mean with this Six of Swords that you do have to leave some people and some things and some places behind. There may be traveling, okay, either before or after you guys meet each other, traveling to find a better place for yourselves, for your children. This also may be that you need to move on from something within your own minds. For example, the loss of a partner, okay? Yeah, a loss of a partner is coming through rather strongly there. You know, I'm also seeing visitation with children in a custody situation, okay? Those things do happen, and they are stressful and they are difficult, but I do see you getting through to the other side, okay? Just keep your balance, all right? Keep your mental and emotional balance. You do have the strength to endure. And be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your partner. Be patient with the universe. Okay? Ground yourself. Balance yourself. Emotional stability is so important for this pile. Don't lose yourself in the process of this change. Okay? Stay true to yourself. Come what may. And no matter what difficulties there are, the sun will come out tomorrow, and this new beginning will be underway. Okay? This new journey. I'm getting ground zero for some of you, completely starting over, new place, new everything. I'm getting some of you may leave with not very much, but a carry-on bag. But all that you need will be provided along the way. Okay, the sun will rise and will shine with such exuberant glory that you will literally be stopping to smell the roses, literally. And you will find fulfillment in your work. Okay, for those of you that this also requires, a new way of providing for yourself. You absolutely will accomplish that. Okay, I am getting farming, ancestry. I'm getting someone may be leaving their ancestral home to create a new home, a new tradition, a new way of doing things, a homestead perhaps. But I'm also getting that there's some inheritance and taking over of an ancestral home by some. Okay, take that how it resonates. But I am seeing marriage, vow renewal, partnership, making your partnership official. I am also seeing graduations, celebrations of various kinds, baby showers. But I'm also seeing like county fairs for some strange reason. Medieval fairs, Renaissance fairs, Highland Games. I'm seeing those things here as well, okay, which I don't usually see with this card. So So that plenty of things to celebrate. Okay, there is going to be a union of some kind here, whether it's romantic or friendship or a reunion, a family reunion. That could be also the case here. But for some of you, it absolutely is marriage. Okay. And I'm seeing multiple lifetimes having been spent together, you and this person, this soulmate. Okay. I am getting also, I don't know why, but the Bridge to Terabithia is coming through. I don't know why. That is a really sad book. I do not know why that is coming through, but there's something about your past lives that has to do with that. Or maybe you guys read this book together when you were children. Or maybe that's the message. Maybe you knew this person when you were a child. Maybe you were in 4-H together or FFA or something like that, or went to school together. Okay. The other message I am getting is, have any of you ever seen the movie Brigadoon with Gene Kelly? I think it's Van Johnson that plays with him as well on that one. But he falls in love with a woman who lives in a village that disappears and reappears for the safety of the people in it. And some of them are restless and want to leave, because they're brokenhearted, because there's a third-party situation going on. So I am getting that maybe some of you may need to move or leave a place to get away from that energy there. But I'm also getting that the love story from that, where even though it's only supposed to come around every 100 years, their love is so strong between Gene Kelly and the main actress, who I'm so sorry, I can't remember her name at the moment. She's such a beautiful actress too. I should know her name. That their love is so strong that it brings the village back so that he can be with her forever. It breaks the 100-year cycle so that they can be together forever. That's what we're dealing with, okay? That level of love, of union, of multiple lifetimes, that it defies time itself, okay? It defies time, destiny, everything to be together. And no matter what age you are, you will love each other. Okay, and I do see multiple generations here. I see animals. I see a steady home, steady finances. Just beautiful. Okay, for those of you that are inheriting ancestral property or land, I am getting the message here that the other side will be watching and blessing you. For those that you are inheriting from. For those of you that had to leave your ancestral homelands, I am getting a new beginning and the new start of something ancestral for yourself and your descendants. Okay? All right. Let's go over your crystals. That energy was so deep and so beautiful. It's kind of hard to leave that energy. It's quite something. Okay. The black palm helps with protection, amplified personal energy, enhanced intuition, grounding, emotional stability, meditation, success in business, positivity, abundance, peace, victory, spiritual growth, and it works with the root chakra. Okay? And then the lava stone helps with strength, courage, grounding, transformation, emotional calming, and it works with the root and crown chakra. Okay? And then we have these little things over here slipped into it. Okay, we have the eagle eye. Oh, well, apparently the white howlite wanted to be a part of this, so we're going to stick it right there because it wanted to be in on the show. This helps with stress and anxiety and patience and that sort of stuff. It fell on the temperance card. So remember, emotional balance. Okay, they are really putting a punctuation on that emotional balance as you wait. Okay? All right. Eagle eye, and I am getting, live your life. don't just be sitting around waiting, okay? It happens while you are living your life to its fullest, okay? The eagle eye, a gemstone with meaning and properties of strengthening its owner's thinking ability. From old times, people have believed its power to get the skill to make decisions in a calm state. You would be able to make the best decision by holding back your temper. Okay? So being angry at the universe, while it's okay, and you need to process your emotions, is not a healthy state to remain in. Okay? So if you're impatient, just remember that. Okay? Also, if there is someone that you need to forgive, please do that. And there are going to be people who don't understand what's going to be going on in your life, and they're going to resent you or be angry about it, and you need to keep your calm, okay, and not lose your own temper. And with luxullianite, it brings support and grounding, helps one during times of change, helps with hyperactivity. So some of you, there may be some ADHD or something like that going on in this pile. And it breaks emotional attachments, right? That ones that you don't need, okay? Protects from energy vampires, all right? So with the breaks emotional attachments and protecting from energy vampires is definitely talking about that those of you who are leaving other relationships in your life, okay, to be in this new beginning, this new future. Okay, let's get you actually I'm seeing these. Moonology. What do you need to release? Waning Moon. This came out in a couple of the other piles, so if you're drawn to any of the other piles, you might want to check them out. But what do you need to release? Okay? And then Prosperity Lies Ahead. New Moon in Taurus. And this one came out also. I think it might have been pile number 3. Yeah, the one before this one. These two came out in that, actually. And then I'm going to pull for you a White Light Oracle guidebook from, White Light Oracle from the guidebook and deck by Alana Fairchild. And I am seeing these. Okay, Spirit Owl of 352 hertz. Sorry, 852 hertz. Apparently I'm having some difficulty talking. It might behoove you to listen to music at 852 hertz. Okay, number 20. Recalibration to a higher order of divine purpose is in progress. It is not always a smooth ride, but it is safe to be fearless as you gently hold space for new ways of thinking, living, and seeing to emerge. You are encouraged to let go of opinions and belief systems that cannot support you in higher frequency states. You shall soon recognize a truth that cuts through confusion and frees you to proceed with love, peace, and higher understanding. Okay? All right. 24, Alpha of Alcyon. I'm getting a lot of respect coming off of this. You guys are going to respect each other for your work ethic is coming through. A positive twist of fate and a windfall of good fortune are destined for you. Brightness and hope will alleviate negativity and give you the strength to find your way through a time of adversity or challenge. Finally, you will experience peace, love, and deep connection with your true self and the universe. Good things are on their way to you. And that really ties in with that Prosperity Lies Ahead card we got there. And then number 36, Telepathy of Terra Mater. The pathway for your spiritual fulfillment and the sacred manifestation of your purpose is not necessarily logical and will evolve organically. The skillful and unpredictable workings of the Earth Mother are supporting your soul journey unconditionally. Following up on inspired ideas and allowing for unexpected shifts in direction are integral to the manifestation of your soul purpose. Commit to an idea that feels good to your heart. Even if it seems improbable or unattainable, it will manifest successfully. And that one came out in the last pick a card reading. I can't remember which pile. But if you're drawn to any of those with the Seven of Cups, do please feel free to check them out. I hope that you found this message to be helpful. If you did, please let me know. If there's anything you felt could have been improved upon, please also let me know that. Be gentle and kind as you do so if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. You are loved more than you will ever know. And you have the strength and the fortitude and the stability to get through any difficult situation as you go through this transition. All right? Take care of yourselves. I love you. Bye.